The night was loud. Horns cried. Rain tapped like tiny feet on the city street. Neon lights shook in puddles. People rushed past with umbrellas like small black clouds. And right there, in the middle of all that noise, a young woman stood frozen. Her name was Amara. Her heart hammered like a drum. Her ex, Kelvin, was pushing through the crowd toward her. He wore a bright smile that did not reach his eyes. He had the kind of smile that said, "You cannot run from me." Amara knew that smile well. She had seen it in quiet rooms on bad days, after broken promises. "Amara!" "Wait!" Kelvin shouted. "Let's talk." No, she would not. Not today. Not again. Her mind raced. She had two choices, run or disappear. But there was no place to hide. Then she saw him, a tall man stepping out from a sleek black car, shaking rain from his coat. He had sharp eyes and a calm face, like nothing could shake him. A stranger. A complete stranger. Amara did a wild thing. She walked up to the stranger and said in a breath, "Please help me. Pretend. Just for a second." Before he could answer, she rose on her toes and kissed him. The world went silent. The city's noise fell away. The rain felt like soft dust. For a heartbeat, it was only the press of her lips to a stranger's lips, warm and steady like a door she ducked behind to be safe. Kelvin stopped cold. His smile cracked. People stared. Someone gasped. Someone else laughed. A motorcycle horn hiccuped. The stranger did not pull away. His hand moved lightly to Amara's shoulder, not grabbing, not forcing, just steadying her like you might steady a trembling bird. Then the stranger lifted his head and spoke quietly, only to her. "You're okay." Kelvin's mouth tightened. "What is this? Who is he?" Amara looked up at the stranger with scared, shining eyes. She had no answer ready. She had picked this man from the rain, like a key from a pocket she did not know she had. The stranger's gaze held hers. His voice stayed soft. "Follow my lead," he said, and then he took her hand. He turned to Kelvin. "You must step back." Kelvin laughed, but it was not a nice sound. "Says who?" The stranger took a slim black wallet from his inner coat. He showed a silver card to the uniformed security guard standing near the hotel door, and the guard straightened fast. The guard knew that card. The guard moved between Kelvin and Amara at once. And then the stranger said his name, calm, clear, and not loud at all, yet somehow it cut through the rain and the neon, and the buzz like a string pulled tight. "Ethan Cole." The world did not just go silent that time. It stopped. Ethan Cole. The Ethan Cole. The quiet billionaire. The buyer of broken companies. The man the business blogs called the storm behind the glass. People whispered his name like a secret road. People said he could change a company's fate with a single memo, a single meeting, a single look. Amara's stomach fell like an elevator. Kelvin's face went white. His mouth opened, then closed, and Ethan leaned toward Amara, eyes steady, rain clinging to his dark lashes, and said the words that split the night into before and after. "Amara," he said gently, as if he had known her far longer than the last 5 seconds. "I'm your new CEO." The hotel doors opened with a hush of warm air, and that was where the moment broke. Now, let me introduce everyone properly. Amara Nkem holds a simple life with both hands. She is 26. She wears soft shirts that feel like clean wind. She likes her hair in a neat bun when she works, so nothing blocks her eyes. Her eyes are big and curious, the kind that collect small, kind things, like the way a bus driver smiles at a child or the way an old woman's hands fold around a paper bag. Amara works at Skyline Systems, a software company that builds tools for small shops and schools, clean accounting apps, simple attendance trackers, little bits of code that make big daily life easier. Amara is not a coder. She is a support specialist. She listens to customers when something breaks or when something confuses them. She says things like, "You are not silly. This is new. We will fix it together." And she means it. She never sounds tired when she says together. People at Skyline know her for her voice that calms storms and for her heart that holds other people's fear without letting it drown them. She is good at that. She is good at seeing people. Her manager is Mrs. Bello, a wise woman with round glasses and a voice like warm tea. Her best friend in the office is Tara, who wears bright earrings and keeps 3 plants on her desk that she talks to every morning. There is also Sam, the quiet coder who brings extra snacks and pretends they are extra even when he bought them just for the team. Amara believes in simple rules. Be kind first. Listen before you speak. If you can't change the big thing, change the small thing you can touch. Amara was not always this sure, but she learned. And she learned the hard way. Kelvin was once Amara's boyfriend. He is handsome in a sharp way and always looks like he has somewhere cooler to be. He sells things for a living, big things like contracts and deals. He can talk like a golden rope. He knows how to make words shine. People liked him often because he made them feel like they were the only person in the room. Amara liked him for that too, for a while. But with Kelvin, gifts came with strings you could not see. He would do small lies that felt like bumps in the road. He would say, "I forgot," after big promises. He would say, "Don't be dramatic," when Amara felt hurt. And sometimes his eyes turned cold for no reason, like a light going out behind a door. When Amara did well at work, he would say, "Oh, that little thing. Anyone could do that." One day she found proof of a bigger lie. Not just a text from another girl. Not just the smell of perfume that was not hers. She found a plan, an ugly plan, to use her office contacts to push a shady deal toward Kelvin's private circle. Her name was on the email he drafted. He was going to send it on her behalf. He told her it was just networking. It wasn't. It could have cost her job. It could have made her a thief without her knowing she was stealing. She said no. She said no with her whole voice and her whole chest. She walked away. He laughed and said, "You'll come back." She did not. She blocked him. She told Mrs. Bello about the email. She deleted the draft. She promised herself to be brave even when bravery shook. But a person like Kelvin does not always let go. He came to the corner of her street a few times. He waited near the office on a day. He guessed she would work late. He stood outside places she liked, as if her life was a map he could read. Each time she said, "Leave me alone," he called her dramatic again. It made her feel small. It made her feel watched. And that is where the rain-soaked street came in. That is how the day of the kiss began. Ethan Cole is the man people put on magazine covers with cold colors. They say he is careful, private, and always 2 moves ahead. He takes companies that are losing their way and gives them a new map. He is not loud. He does not post his breakfast online. He thinks before he speaks, and when he speaks, people write things down. No one at Skyline knew him personally. They just heard rumors. A big firm was buying them. A rich man liked their tools. A bigger plan was coming. 2 weeks before the kiss, an email went to all staff. Transition news coming soon. Everyone whispered in the lunchroom. Tara made jokes about mystery bosses. Sam read business blogs and said nothing. Mrs. Bellows said, "Let's focus on serving our customers well." Amara smiled and kept helping people who needed help. On the day before the kiss, the rain was already visiting the city, but it was gentle. The sky had a gray face but soft eyes. Amara took a later bus because she had spent the morning helping her neighbor, Madame A.O., fix a broken kitchen tap. Amara did not know much about taps, but she held the flashlight and fetched tools while a real plumber worked. She stayed because Madame A.O.'s hands were shaking and the plumber looked tired. She made tea and said, "Take your time. No rush." And the plumber smiled for the first time that day. When Amara reached the office, the lobby smelled like lemon cleaner and printer ink. She saw a boy selling plantain chips near the door, wet from the drizzle. She bought 2 packs, one for Tara, one for Sam. She gave the boy a napkin from her bag to dry his face. He looked surprised and said, "Thank you, Auntie." He was not her nephew, of course. But in cities like this, Auntie is a soft word for a kind stranger. She liked that. Upstairs, Tara squealed when she saw the chips. "You always know," Tara said, tearing the packet open. "If you were a bird, you'd be the kind that brings bread." Sam pretended not to notice his chips until Amara left them on his keyboard. Then he said, to no one in particular, "Extra." And everyone laughed, because they all knew he meant "thank you" in Sam language. Mrs. Bello called Amara into her office. "How are you, dear?" the older woman asked. "I'm fine," Amara said. "Tell me the truth, not the polite answer," Mrs. Bello said. Amara took a breath. "I feel watched sometimes," she said softly. "But I am okay. I promise." She did not say Kelvin's name. She did not want to put that ash in the air. Mrs. Bello reached across the desk and patted her hand. "You are strong and you are not alone," she said. "And you do not need to carry other people's bad choices. Not even a little bit." Amara's eyes warmed. "Thank you," she said. She meant it. That afternoon, a long, official message went out to all staff. It said there would be an all-hands meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. in the big hall. A new owner would speak. The name of the new owner was not in the memo. People buzzed like bees. Tara made a chart of possible rich men on a napkin, which made no sense and made everyone happy anyway. Amara stayed late to help a school teacher who couldn't figure out how to reset passwords for her class. It took patience, but patience is a gift that grows when you give it. When they solved it, the teacher cried happy tears over the phone, and Amara stayed quiet and let the teacher talk about her students. When the call ended, the office was dim. The rain had started. Tara had gone home. Sam had left a sticky note on Amara's screen that said, "Lock your laptop. Lock your heart. See you tomorrow." It made her laugh. When the elevator doors opened downstairs, Amara saw Kelvin through the glass, standing under the awning, dry, and smiling with that "I own your story" smile. Her small good day twisted. She backed into the lobby, waited, and slipped out a side door. She made it to the bus stop with her breath tight. She told herself she was safe. She told herself she was brave. She told herself kindness was not weakness. She slept with the light on. Ethan didn't drag Amara through the doors. He walked with her. His steps were steady, like a drumbeat to follow. Inside, the lobby was warm and quiet, with a high ceiling and a thick rug that drank the sound of footsteps. The guard stopped Kelvin at the entrance. Kelvin shouted, "You think you can hide behind money?" But his voice bounced off polished walls and went nowhere important. In the lobby, Ethan took off his coat and put it around Amara's shoulders. It smelled like fine soap and rain. He looked at her face, but not in a staring way. In a careful way. "Do you need me to call someone you trust?" he asked. Amara shook her head. Her voice trembled. "Thank you," she said. Then her mind caught up with her mouth. "Wait, you said you're my new CEO." Ethan nodded once. "There's a transition," he said. "I was going to introduce myself to your company in the morning." He gave a small, wry smile. "This is earlier." Amara blinked. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "I didn't mean to cross a line. My ex, he would not leave me alone. I panicked." Ethan's expression did not change much, but something in his eyes softened. "You asked for help," he said. "That is not crossing a line. That is surviving one." He paused. "You did well." No one had ever said you did well to her after a panic. People usually said, "Why didn't you just—" and then filled the space with ideas they had from far away. But Ethan was standing close. He saw the fear and did not make it smaller or bigger. He just named the bravery in it. Amara felt a knot in her chest loosen a little. "Would you like a car home?" he asked. Amara shook her head. "I'll take a cab from the next street." She said, "I don't want to cause trouble." Ethan looked puzzled. "Why do you think you are trouble?" Amara did not have an answer for that. She had spent so long trying to be small that she had not noticed how fast the word trouble had jumped into her mouth. Ethan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, put it away. "I'll walk you to the side exit," he said, "and my guard will make sure you get into a safe cab. No charge." He said the last part like a joke, but not unkindly, and it made Amara smile. And smiling made her feel like she could breathe again. They took the quiet hallway to the exit. The guard who had blocked Kelvin joined them. He wore a simple badge with the letter C. He nodded at Amara like she was a person, not an event. Outside, the rain had thinned to a silver mist. Ethan held the door. "Amara," he said, as if saying her name might steady them both. "Tomorrow, come to the all-hands. Sit near the aisle. If you need anything at all, tell the front desk you need Mr. Cole's team." Amara swallowed. "Thank you," she said again, because there was nothing else big enough to put in that space. The guard walked her to the corner. A cab stopped. Amara climbed in, her hair damp, her hands still shaking a little. She looked back once. Ethan stood in the light of the doorway, not moving, watching to make sure she was safe. He raised 2 fingers in a small salute that somehow said, "You are not alone." The cab rolled away. At 8:30 a.m., Skyline Systems buzzed. People lined up by the coffee machine, talking in bubbles of sound. Tara wore yellow earrings shaped like suns. She grabbed Amara's hand. "Big day. You okay? You look like thunder and rain and a promise." "I'm okay," Amara said. She meant it, mostly. She slept a little. She woke up feeling new and scared and brave, all at once, like a seed poking its head out of the soil. Sam hovered nearby, holding a box of donuts he pretended to dislike. He pushed one toward Amara, without looking at her, and murmured, "Extra." She smiled and took a glazed one. "Everyone," Mrs. Bello called, kindly from the doorway, "time to head down." They moved like a bright river down the stairs. The big hall sang with soft light and rows of chairs. A tall screen glowed at the front with the Skyline logo, next to a new symbol, a silver C inside a circle. The room smelled like coffee and new chants. Amara sat near the aisle like Ethan had said. She did not know why she obeyed that small detail. It just felt right. Tara sat on one side. Sam took the end seat and balanced the donut box on his knees. The room dimmed. A hush fell. A woman in a navy suit stepped onto the stage. She spoke about changes and hope and investment. She smiled with her whole face. "Please welcome," she said, "the new owner of Skyline Systems, the CEO of Cole Innovations, Mr. Ethan Cole." The hall breathed in. He walked out calm, in a simple dark suit, no tie, a steady light at his back. He did not look like a poster. He looked like a person who had been awake before dawn. He thanked the team that built Skyline. He said he had spent nights reading customer emails, real ones, messy ones, the kind Amara answered. He spoke about tools that help small people do big things. He spoke in simple words, the kind that even a child could follow. He did not try to sound clever. He tried to sound clear. Amara felt Tara squeeze her hand. "Oh," Tara whispered, "he's the kind that thinks before he talks. Rare." Ethan paused. He looked out across the hall. For one heartbeat, his eyes found Amara in the aisle. He did not double take. He did not change his face. but he tilted his head the smallest bit, like a nod across a long room. And in that tiny nod, Amara felt something soften again. Not like romance. Not yet. More like safety. Like a promise that kindness can be strong. He ended with this: "We are not here to make noise. We are here to make work that helps people. We will do it with respect. We will do it with care." People clapped. Some stood. Not because they were told to, but because they wanted to. Amara clapped too. Her hands stung in a good way. After the meeting, work flowed like a calm river. Amara took calls. She fixed broken links. She coached a shop owner through setting up a receipt printer. She used her voice like a bridge. When a customer apologized for being slow, she said, "You are learning. Learning is never slow. Learning is brave." Tara wrote a silly song about the new logo and sang it under her breath. Sam found a bug and fixed it and left a sticky note for himself that said, "Remember to eat actual lunch," and then forgot anyway until Amara slid half her sandwich onto his desk. At 3 p.m., Mrs. Bello asked Amara to help with a short list of VIP customer issues. "A small team from the new owner's office wants to see how we serve people," she said. "Just do what you always do." Amara nodded. She was steady now. The morning had washed away the fear of last night. Kelvin felt far. The kiss felt like a strange dream that had left only a clean breeze behind. At 4:20 p.m., a message pinged. It was from HR. "Please come to the 11th floor conference room at 4:30 p.m. urgent." There was no smiley face. There was no reason given. Amara's heart did a small jump. She told herself it was probably fine. Maybe they needed her to help welcome someone. Maybe someone wanted to talk about the meeting. She told Tara she would be back soon. She took the stairs to burn the nervous energy and to feel her legs work. In the stairwell, her phone buzzed once. "Unknown number, we need to talk. You owe me. K." Her stomach tightened. She did not answer. She kept walking. One foot, then the other. She opened the heavy door to the 11th floor. The conference room was made of glass. You could see the city spread out behind it like a gray-blue blanket. Inside, 3 people sat at the table. 2 were strangers in dark suits. One was a woman Amara had seen only in emails, Ms. Rao, the head of compliance for Coal Innovations. Her eyes were sharp, but not unkind. "Amara," Ms. Rao said, standing to shake her hand. "Thank you for coming." Amara sat. Her palms felt damp. "Is everything okay?" Ms. Rao looked at the others, then back to Amara. "We received a report," she said carefully, "that a Skyline employee may have been involved in forwarding confidential client data to an outside party 3 weeks ago." Amara's mouth went dry. "I what?" Ms. Rao held up a hand, a peaceful gesture. "No one is accusing you of anything," she said. "We are checking all access logs. Your name appears only because a draft email was created from your account and then deleted. We want to understand." The room tilted slightly. Amara's breath thinned. She could see the ugly day again, the day she found Kelvin's plan. The draft email. The way her hands shook as she hit delete. She had told Mrs. Bello. She had told the truth. But the truth sometimes takes time to grow legs and walk. "I did not send anything," Amara said, her voice small but clear. "My ex-boyfriend tried to use my name to send a bad message. I stopped it. I told my manager. I can show you the exact day." The 2 strangers scribbled notes. Ms. Rao listened with her whole face. "Thank you," she said. "We'll speak with Mrs. Bello and check the logs. You did the right thing telling your manager." She paused. "May I ask, does this ex still contact you?" Amara's throat pricked. "He tried last night," she said softly. "And just now." Ms. Rao's eyes cooled in a professional way. "Security will escort you downstairs today. Not because you are in trouble, but because you will not walk alone until we sort this. Do you understand? Amara nodded. Relief and shame and gratitude tumbled inside her, all mixed together. She hated that she needed help. She loved that help was being offered. There was a knock at the glass. It was Ethan. He opened the door, the careful way, not like a man who owned the floor, but like a guest in a quiet place. When he saw Amara, he gave the small nod again, the one that said, "I see you," without making a show of it. "Ms. Rao," he said, "may I join for a moment?" Ms. Rao stepped aside. "Of course." Ethan faced Amara. "We found something," he said. "Our team pulled building camera footage from 3 weeks ago. A man matching your ex's description entered the lobby at 9:17 p.m. He spoke with a night guard and waited near the elevators." He paused. "We're working with the guard now. He claims he was confused by false credentials." Ethan's jaw tightened just once. "We will take care of this." Amara's throat squeezed. I'm sorry." Ethan's brows lifted the smallest bit. For being targeted by someone else's bad choice. He shook his head. "No." Ms. Rao leaned in. "I'll handle the logs. Mr. Cole, there is also—" The door swung open wider. Kelvin walked in. No knock. No invitation. A smile like a blade. "Amara," he said brightly, "there you are. We should—" Oh, he pretended to see Ethan for the first time. He placed a hand over his heart. "Mr. Cole, an honor." The air froze. Security should have stopped him. But sometimes bad luck and boldness arrive at the same time, like twins holding hands. Ethan did not raise his voice. "You are trespassing," he said. He did not ask who Kelvin was. He did not need the story again to know the ending. Kelvin spread his hands. "Just came to clear something up." He lifted a black envelope with his fingers. "Some photos have started to travel. Very romantic ones. In the rain." His eyes flicked to Amara. "Thought you might want to control the story." Amara's blood ran cold. Photos. The kiss. Her ask for help. Her safe door. Did someone catch it on camera? Of course they did. People always do, in a city full of eyes. Kelvin placed the envelope on the table and smiled as if he had delivered flowers. "You're welcome," he said softly to Amara. "You always needed me." For a long breath, no one moved. Then Ethan reached for the envelope. He did not do it like a man who feared it. He did it like a man who had already decided he would not let a dark thing grow in a bright room. He opened it. He looked at the first photo. He did not flinch. He tapped the corner twice, as if confirming the paper was real and not smoke. He slid the photo across the table to Amara, not fast, not slow. On the glossy page, rain hung like diamonds around two faces. Her face. His face. The moment that saved her. Ethan looked up at Kelvin, and the softness in his eyes was gone now. Not replaced with anger, replaced with steel. "You think this is leverage," Ethan said, voice still low. "It is not." He turned to Ms. Rao. "Call legal. Call PR. We will own our story, not his." Kelvin's smile wobbled. "You kissed a stranger in public," he said to Amara. "How does that look for your job, He leaned in, trying to catch her eyes the way he always used to. "You are small. You follow the rules. People like you break when the light hits them wrong." Amara felt something rise in her chest, something new, something strong. It was not loud. It was not sharp. It was a simple, quiet no that filled her like warm tea fills a cup. She sat up. She looked Kelvin in the eye and said very clearly, "Leave." He blinked. He had not heard her say it like that before. He took a half step back. Ethan turned his head, just a little, toward the doorway. 2 security guards were already there, called by a silent message. "Escort him out," Ethan said, "and flag his name with the desk." Kelvin lifted his hands, playing casual. "This is a mistake," he said, even as he backed away. The guards took him by the arms. He did not fight. He only looked over his shoulder at Amara and mouthed, "You owe me." It looked small and weak now, a dry leaf pretending to be a tree. He was gone. The room breathed again. Ms. Rao moved fast, making calls, saying clear words. The two strangers in suits wrote and wrote. Amara stared at the photo. She was not ashamed. She was not proud. She was just steady. Ethan slid the envelope back toward himself and stood. "Amara," he said softly, so only she could hear. "This will get noisy before it gets quiet, but I want you to hear this now. You asked for help, and help is not a bad story. We will handle this with truth and care." He paused. "And we will not let him write your chapter." Amara nodded. Her throat hurt again, but in a different way. "Thank you," she whispered, "for walking with me, for seeing me." Ethan gave the smallest, realest smile he had given all day. "You make it easy to do the right thing," he said. Ms. Rao finished a call and looked up. "Mr. Cole," she said, "we have another problem. The photos, they are already online. The caption says the woman is a Skyline employee. There are comments asking if this is a conflict. Some are kind. Some are not." "Where?" Ethan asked. "Everywhere," she said. Ethan's jaw set. "Then we speak first." He turned to Amara. "I am going to ask you something unusual," he said. "You can say no. You can say yes. Either way, we protect you." Amara held his gaze. The rain in the photo sparkled like stars. "What do you need me to do?" she asked. Ethan took a breath. "Stand with me in front of the team," he said. "We will tell them what happened, the truth, without the details that hurt you. We will show them our values. We will not hide. We will make it clear that compassion is not weakness, and that this company will not punish someone for asking for help." Amara felt the floor under her feet, the air in her lungs, the weight of her fear, the warmth of her courage. She nodded once. "Okay," she said. "I'll stand." 5 minutes, Ms. Rao said. "Town hall in the big hall. PR is drafting. Legal is aligned." They moved. The elevator hummed. The hallway buzzed like a wire. Tara texted, "Are you okay? People are saying things online." "I'm here. I'm here." Sam texted one word. "Extra." Amara smiled at the screen and typed back, "Together." The doors to the big hall opened. People turned. Murmurs rose and fell. On the screen, the Skyline logo waited, unsure. Ethan stepped onto the stage. He did not hide Amara behind him. He asked her to walk beside him, not as a shield, as a person, as a worker who answered calls and solved problems and bought plantain chips in the rain. "Before we begin," Ethan said into the mic, "I need to speak to you as people, not just as staff. Last night, one of your teammates was in fear. She asked a stranger for help. That was me. She did nothing wrong. We stand by her." A hush deeper than any hush before fell over the room. Amara held the edges of the lectern. She could see Tara in the third row, eyes wet, chin high. She could see Mrs. Bello with her hand over her heart. She could see Sam in the back, holding the donut box like a small, silly shield. Ethan continued, "We will not let gossip be our guide. We will tell the truth, we will protect our people, and we will keep serving our customers with care. If anyone is facing trouble outside these walls, we will listen and help, not because it is easy, because it is right." He turned to Amara and stepped back from the mic, giving her the space. He did not push her forward. He simply made room. Amara swallowed. She stepped up. Her voice shook at first, and then found itself. "My name is Amara," she said. "I help our users every day. Last night, I was scared. I asked for help. I am not ashamed of that." She took a breath. "If you ever need help, Please ask. You are not alone. Someone began to clap. Then others. It was not wild. It was steady. It was the kind of clap that says, "We see you. We are here." The doors at the back banged open. Everyone turned. A cluster of reporters pushed in, cameras up like metal eyes. Security tried to slow them, but the wave had already reached the aisle. A woman with a sharp bob and a sharper voice shouted a question. "Mr. Cole, Mr. Cole, did you kiss an employee? Are you in a relationship? Is there favoritism here? Are you going to fire her to protect your brand?" Ethan stepped in front of the mic, calm as the deep part of the ocean. "No one will be fired for asking for help," he said. "And if you want a real story, write this one." He didn't finish. The screen behind them went black. Then red letters flashed across it. Huge, angry, and wrong. Data breach in progress. An alarm began to wail, low and ugly. Computers chimed. Phones buzzed in pockets. A map popped up on the screen with blinking points, like hot coals. Ms. Rao's voice cut through the noise. "This is a live attack," she said, already moving, already calling names. "All devs to stations. All support staff to care lines. PR with me. Security, lock the doors." Ethan turned to Amara. "Stay with me," he said. She nodded, heart slamming. Reporters swarmed. Staff rose like a wave. Tara grabbed Sam's sleeve. Mrs. Bellow shouted calm orders to her team. The hall became a storm of motion and light and beeping machines. Ethan leaned toward the mic one last time, voice steady but fierce. "Everyone," he said, "this is our first test together. We will fight for our users. Eyes up, heart steady." He turned, reached for Amara's hand, not as a boss, not as a stranger, but as a leader asking a teammate to walk through fire. They ran for the side door. They slipped through a side door as the hall shook with motion. One by one. No one is alone. The hallway to the war room was long and bright. The walls were glass. Inside the room, big screens showed maps with tiny blinking dots. A long table held laptops, wires, and empty coffee cups. People were already at the table. A slim man with square glasses raised his hand. "Chaik, head of platform," he said, "we are seeing traffic spikes from 3 countries. Some look like botnets. A few hits touch our password reset tool." "Cut the tool," Ms. Rao said, sliding into a seat. "Better safe. Redirect users to manual help." "Done." Chaik's fingers flew. A woman with a soft scarf around her neck looked up from a laptop. "Laura, PR," she said to Ethan. "Media is outside. They smell blood, but we can flood them with facts, not fear. Give me 2 lines to set the tone." Ethan nodded. "Say this: we detected an active attack. Our team responded in minutes. User safety is our first rule. We will share updates as we confirm them. No guessing." "Clear," Laura said, typing. A tall man with a small white scar on his eyebrow stood near the door, listening to the radio in his ear. He wore a dark jacket, with security stitched on the chest. "Mr. Ocone," he said with a small salute. "Head of physical security. Reporters at the lobby. One tried to tailgate through the employee door. We closed it, and we are watching for your favorite troublemaker." He did not say Kelvin's name. He did not need to. "Thank you," Ethan said. "Keep the lobby calm. No fights. Dignity speaks louder than anger." Mr. Ocone smiled with one side of his mouth. "Yes, sir." Amara stood a little behind Ethan, coat folded over her arm. She felt small and big at the same time. Small because the screens and maps and digital storms were huge. Big because she could still make a difference. People would call. People would be afraid. She knew how to help fear find air. Ethan turned to her. "Can you sit on the care line in here?" he asked. "We need one voice in this room that knows users like neighbors. Amara nodded. I can. Chaik pushed a headset toward her and rolled a chair over. Welcome to the fire, he said gently. We breathe in smoke and blow out calm. Amara put the headset on. The first call came at once. Hello, a thin voice asked. My school app says error. Are we hacked? Hi, Amara said, voice steady like a handrail. I'm Amara. You called the right place. We saw the issue, and our team is already fixing it. Your data is not gone. We closed one tool for safety. I'll help you step by step. She guided the teacher through a manual login. She kept her words simple. She kept her tone warm. The teacher's breath slowed. Thank you, the teacher said. My students are watching me. I don't want them to see me panic. It's okay to be scared, Amara said softly. You are brave. You asked for help. That is what brave people do. She meant it. She always meant it. She took another call. And another. A shop owner with shaking words. A parent who could not see their child's attendance record. A nurse who used the app for shift changes. Amara told each one the truth in clear words. She wrote simple notes the devs could use. The room moved around her like a dance. Fast, sharp, careful. Chaik pointed to the biggest screen. See that spike? He asked Ethan. We're blocking the worst of it. But one piece is smart. It keeps trying different doors like a thief with a ring of keys. Then we changed the locks. Ethan said, eyes on the map. What door is it touching now? The old report, download API. Chaik said, we kept it for a few legacy clinics. Turn it off, Ms. Rao said at once. Call the clinics with extra help. Better a little pain now than a big wound later. Chaik nodded. On it, Laura slid a draft across the table to Ethan. He scanned it fast. Good, he said. Share it and send a kind version for users on social. Simple words. No blame. Laura smiled in relief. Already thinking like you, she said, and hit send. The radio on Mr. Ocon's shoulder crackled. Lobby clear, a voice said. Reporters outside. Kelvin seen across the street, talking to someone, then gone. Note time and direction, Mr. Ocon replied. He turned to Ethan. We'll review footage. Thank you, Ethan said. Amara kept working. Fear came into her ear, and she turned it into steady steps. I'm here, she told a caller. Breathe with me. In and out. Now, let's click the small blue link at the bottom. Yes, that one. Good. We will take care of you. As she spoke, she noticed her hands were not shaking anymore. Across the table, Ms. Rao watched the logs pour in like rain on glass. She clicked, paused, clicked again. Her eyes narrowed. Chaik, she said, I'm seeing a strange pattern. The attack is noisy, but the quiet piece is touching only one set of test accounts. The names are fake, but the tags say they were made by a support user 6 months ago. Chaik frowned. A support user? Which one? Ms. Rao zoomed in. Her mouth made a straight line. The tag says Ankam Create Test. Chaik looked up at Amara. Amaran Kem? He asked carefully. Amara's heart paused. Those are my initials, she said. I made test users months ago to teach a new school admin, but I forgot to delete them after the lesson. Is that my fault? Ms. Rao shook her head at once. No blame, she said. Test accounts exist. We should have expired them earlier. What matters now is speed. The attacker found them because old doors are often easy doors. She tapped the screen. We'll close them now. Amara swallowed and nodded. Shame tried to creep in like a cold draft. She did not let it. She looked at Chaik. Do you want me to list every test account I ever made? She asked. I can do it from memory and from my notes. Chaik blinked. Then he smiled. Please, that would help a lot. She pulled her small notebook from her bag. The cover was worn and soft, full of tiny, neat lines. She read the names she had made months ago. Simple names. Practice names. Chike deleted them one by one. The blinking dot on the screen paused, like a hand that reached for a handle and found it gone. It slowed, Chike said. Nice. Good catch, Ms. Rao, Ethan said. Ms. Rao nodded once. Teamwork, she said simply. Calls kept coming. Amara kept answering. Tara texted her little lightning bolt emojis from the floor below. Sam sent a photo of a whiteboard with the words, "We got this. Breathe. Sip water. Be kind." It was written in 3 different handwritings. He had added a smiley face that looked a bit like a potato. Amara smiled without meaning to. Even in storms, small funny things mattered. By late afternoon, the red letters on the big screen turned orange, then yellow. The alarms quieted. The maps calmed. The room let out a long breath together. Chike took off his glasses and rubbed his eyes. "We blocked the big stuff," he said. "We still need to sweep, but we stopped the bleeding." Laura handed Ethan her phone. "Your message is trending," she said. "Not the gossip. The line about telling the truth without guessing. People are repeating it." Ethan handed the phone back. "Good," he said. He looked around the table. "Everyone, thank you. You were brave, careful, and kind. That is how we win. We'll send food to every floor. Take turns to eat. No heroes who forget to rest." A small laugh rolled through the room. The tightness in the air softened. Mr. Ocone spoke quietly into his radio and then to Ethan. "Lobby is calm. Reporters are still outside, but they lost interest when the alarm stopped. The street is wet. The sky is clearing." Ethan nodded, then turned to Amara. "Step outside a moment," he asked. She hesitated. "Are you sure you don't need me on calls? You gave us 2 hours of calm." He said, "Give yourself 5 minutes of air." She stood. She followed him into the quiet hall. The glass walls showed the city like a painting, wet streets, slow cars, clouds breaking open to let a reluctant sun look through. They stopped by a tall window. Neither spoke for a moment. Quiet can be heavy. It can also be soft. "Amara," Ethan said at last, "I am proud of you." She looked at him, surprised. "For what?" "I forgot to delete old test accounts." "For telling the truth fast." He said, "For helping people, one voice at a time. For standing up in front of the team when you were scared. For asking for help last night. Bravery is not loud. It is honest. You were honest." She took a slow breath. "Thank you," she said. "I still feel small sometimes." He looked at the street. "So do I," he said, and the simple truth of it made her blink. "At my first company, when the servers died, I hid in a bathroom for 3 minutes and cried. Then I washed my face and asked a harder question. What can I do right now that helps one person? That question saved us." Amara smiled a little. "I ask myself that too," she said. "When I talk to a scared teacher, I say, what can I do right now that makes this 5 minutes better?" Sometimes it is just a calm voice. Sometimes a simple tip. Sometimes it is telling them they are not foolish. Ethan looked at her, really looked like he was reading words printed on clear glass. "I like how you think," he said. She felt her cheeks warm. She looked down at her notebook. "I like how you make space," she answered. They stood there a moment longer, shoulder to shoulder, but not touching. The building hummed around them. The city breathed out. "Where are people watching from?" Amara asked suddenly, thinking of the folks who would hear this story later. She turned to the window like it was a camera and smiled in her mind. "Tell us in the comments, please. Lagos? Nairobi? Toronto? London? A small village with a mango tree in the square? We want to know. We are building this story with you, and your place is part of the map. Ethan glanced at her, amused. You do theater too? He teased softly. She shrugged, shy and playful for the first time. Maybe a little, she said. The elevator dinged down the hall. The doors opened. Tara ran out with a paper cup in each hand and a grin and a breathless laugh. I brought tea, she said, for our hero and our CEO. I'm not a hero, Amara said, taking the cup. You are a human hero, Tara said. They are the best kind. They eat plantain chips and still pick up the phone. Ethan took his cup. Thank you, Tara, he said. Anytime, boss, she chirped. Sam is guarding donuts like a dragon. By the way, he says they are extra, but I think he loves them. A small, warm laugh flickered in Ethan's eyes. We will add donuts to the official disaster plan, he said. Tara wiggled her brows. About time. For the first time since the red letters, Amara felt the inside of her chest unclench fully. The storm was not over, but there was a roof. There were people on it who did not push each other off. Go rest for 10, Tara told Amara, wagging a finger. Dr. Tara orders it. Yes, ma'am, Amara said with a little salute. They turned back toward the war room to tell Ms. Rao they would step away for a short break. As they reached the door, a small group stepped out, a neat woman in a gray dress, a man with a folder, and an older gentleman whose eyes missed nothing. The older man had an air that made the hallway change temperature. He moved like a person who was used to people moving for him. Mr. Cole, the gray-dressed woman said, the board liaison is here. The older gentleman gave a wide, friendly smile that did not touch his eyes. Ethan, he said, what a day for headlines. Mr. Harrington, Ethan replied, polite but cool. We handled the worst of it. Users are okay. Harrington's smile did not change. And yet the press is hot. A kiss in the rain. A breach. You do like drama. Ethan's jaw moved once, but his voice stayed flat. We like truth. We're sharing it. Harrington's gaze slid to Amara for the briefest moment. It felt like a camera flash. And who is this brave young lady? He asked. Amara and Kem, Ethan said. Customer support. The best of us. Harrington's smile widened half a centimeter. Delighted, he said. We will speak later about optics, Ethan. For now, continue. He and the others walked away, shoes soft on the carpet, leaving a faint smell of expensive cologne and old rules. Tara rolled her eyes when they vanished. He is a walking ice cube, she whispered. Amara did not laugh. Something about the man made her stomach flutter, not in a good way. She filed the feeling away. They took the elevator to a small lounge 2 floors up. The room had big chairs and a coffee machine that hissed like a sleepy cat. A shelf held books with titles like Leadership in Storms and Ethics for Engineers. Someone had left a sweater over a chair, forgotten in the rush. Ethan sat. Tara plopped into a seat across from him and kicked off her shoes. My feet are soup, she said, but we still answered 600 calls on our floor. That is a small village. You kept a village calm, Ethan said. Thank you. Tara beamed. We had a script, she said. Amara wrote it months ago. Simple words. Big heart. I told you, boss. She's the best. Amara felt shy. It wasn't just me, she said. Everyone added pieces. Ethan leaned back. For a moment, he looked very tired, like the day had cost him more than he would count. Then he straightened. I have to go back down, he said. Ms. Rao wants another sweep before we say, all clear. Tara stood too. I'll take Amara to the quiet room, make her stretch, she said. Doctor orders. Ethan smiled at the doctor, part again, just for a second. Good, he said. He turned to Amara. If you see anything odd, anything at all, tell me or Ms. Rao at once. I will, Amara said. He left. The door whispered shut. Tara pulled Amara into the quiet room next door. It held soft chairs and a wall with a painted forest so deep you could almost step into it. A small sound machine made a river noise. Amara sank into a chair and let her head rest back. "Breathe with me," Tara said, closing her eyes. "In, out, in, out. If you cry, I will not tell. If you don't, I will not make you. We just sit." Amara's eyes prickled, not with fear this time, with relief. "Thank you," she whispered, "for the tea, for being loud in the nice way, for calling me a human hero." "You are," Tara said, "and your hair still looks cute after 2 hours of war, which is rude." Amara laughed. It came out surprised and bright. "Stop," she said. They sat a while. The river noise in the machine kept time with their breathing. The city outside moved on like a giant animal who did not mind storms. It had seen many. After 10 minutes, Tara popped to her feet. "Okay," she said, "back to see if Mr. Sam Dragon left any donuts." They took the elevator down. The doors opened to the busy floor. People moved with purpose, but not panic now. The smell of pizza floated through the hall. Someone had put up a handwritten sign. "You are doing great. Water is cool. Take some." They reached the support bay. Sam guarded the donut box with fake seriousness. "Password?" he asked, squinting. "Extra," Amara and Tara said together. "Correct," he deadpanned and lifted the lid. 3 donuts remained like tired soldiers. Tara took one and snapped it in half to share. Sam slid a napkin to Amara without looking at her. "Good job," he murmured, which in Sam language probably meant 12 nice sentences. "Thanks," Amara said softly. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number again. Her throat tightened. She did not open it. The phone buzzed once more. She put it face down. Mrs. Bello walked over, glasses low on her nose, eyes kind but sharp. "How are you?" she asked Amara. "Okay," Amara said truthfully. "Good," Mrs. Bello said. "I told HR what you told me months ago about Kelvin. Logs match your story. We recorded it all. You did the right thing then, and you are doing the right thing now." Warmth spread through Amara's chest. "Thank you for believing me," she said. Mrs. Bello squeezed her hand. "Always," she said. The speakers overhead gave a soft chime. "All staff," a voice said, "please return to the big hall for a short update in 5 minutes." "Round 2, Tara said, rolling her shoulders like a boxer. They walked back to the hall together. People brought pizza slices and bottles of water. Someone carried the donut box like a flag. The room filled, not with fear, but with that strange feeling a team gets after a shared scare, like they are stitched together with invisible thread. Ethan stood at the front with Ms. Rao and Chaik and Laura. He looked tired, yes, but his eyes were clear. "Thank you," he began. "The active attack is blocked. No customer funds were touched. A few test accounts were poked, but we closed those doors fast. We will send full details tomorrow after we finish checks. Tonight, we rest in turns and keep watch. You did well." A soft cheer rose. People did not jump. They just breathed out and smiled. "And one more thing," Ethan said. "The story outside our walls is noisy. Some of it will twist what happened last night. We will not add more noise. We will keep telling the truth. We take care of our people. Always." He glanced toward Amara, but did not make a show of it. The glance still warmed her like sunlight finding a spot on your arm. He was about to step down when the house lights blinked. Once, twice, then steady. "Old building," someone joked. The back doors opened. 2 police officers stepped in, firm and polite. A third person followed them. Dark suit, slim tie, a badge on a cord around his neck that said Cybercrime Unit. And beside him, elbows loose, smile neat, stood Kelvin with a visitor sticker on his chest like a shiny lie. The room's happy breath caught. The lead officer spoke in a calm, carrying voice. "We are looking for Ms. Amara and Cam," he said. "We need to ask her some urgent questions regarding a complaint and evidence received." The words fell like stones in a still pond. Ripples ran through every row. Ethan stepped forward. "Officer," he said, measured, "I'm Ethan Cole, owner and CEO. Ms. Nkem is here. She is cooperating with our internal review. If you need a conversation, we will arrange it with counsel present." The cybercrime officer held up a tablet. On the screen was a chart no one else could read from far away. He looked at Amara with no anger, only procedure. "Ma'am, your login name appears on logs connected to test accounts touched during today's incident. We have to take a formal statement. There is also a private complaint filed this afternoon naming you as a possible insider." Kelvin lifted his eyebrows in a show of sadness and folded his hands, as if he had nothing to do with anything at all. Tara grabbed Amara's hand under the chair. Sam shifted his weight like a tree ready to stand between wind and nest. Mrs. Bello rose, chin up, eyes fierce. Ethan did not move his hands. He moved his voice. "She is not an insider," he said, quiet but full. "She reported a problem months ago that connects to this. We have timestamps. We will share them." The cybercrime officer nodded. "We will review everything," he said. He looked at Amara again. "Ma'am, will you come with us to make a statement? You are not under arrest. We need to move quickly to prevent more harm." Amara stood, legs a little soft, but heart very straight. "I will come," she said. "I want the truth clear." Kelvin's smile tilted. He loved the attention, the camera phones now lifted, the whisper he could spin later. "See? I told you she would break." But before he could say a word, every screen in the hall flickered. Black, then white, then a single line of text, simple and cold. "Hello, Amara." Gasps. A chair scraped. Someone dropped a water bottle. Another line appeared. "We see you. Nice kiss. Nice keys. Shall we play again?" The lights dimmed without going out. The air felt thin, like the building had climbed a mountain too fast. Ms. Rao snapped into motion. "Kill the displays. Cut the hall from the network. Now." Chike ran. Laura grabbed a mic. Mr. Ocon's hand flew to his radio. The officers turned to look at the screens, then at Amara, then at Ethan. Ethan stepped closer to Amara, not touching, just there. His voice was a low, steady wire. "You're not alone." Amara lifted her chin. Fear pushed at her, trying to make a home in her throat. She did not let it. She looked at the screen and said, clear enough for the room to hear, "No, we will not play. We will fix." The word "play" on the screen blinked once, like a cruel wink. The cybercrime officer spoke into his mic. "We need forensics on site. Now." Kelvin took a step back, new sweat on his lip he tried to hide. He had wanted a small fire. He had not expected a dragon. Ethan turned to the room. "Team," he said, same as before. "We do not shout. We do not guess. We protect our users. We protect each other." Then he looked at the officers. "We will come with you," he said, "but we do not leave this building blind." Alarms began to chirp again, softer this time, like a warning that could grow teeth. Tara squeezed Amara's hand one last time. "You got this," she whispered. "Human hero." Sam stepped to Amara's other side like a quiet wall. Mrs. Bello moved to speak to Ms. Rao. Mr. Ocon signaled guards to seal the back doors. On the screen, the last line faded. A new one appeared, slower, like a voice leaning close. Tick, tock. To be continued. Comment where you're watching. Like and subscribe. Part 2 drops soon.